I'm Star. And I'm Emily. And today we're going places and seeing some terrific things at the Toledo Zoo that very few people have ever seen. Like where the animals' food is kept and exactly what they eat. And how to give a gorilla a physical. So hang with us and amaze your friends with what you see on Zoo Today. Here's a riddle for you, Emily. What's big and dark and wrinkled all over?
A giant prune?
Nope, it's the river horse.
The what?
The river horse. It's the hippopotamus. 6,000 pounds of underwater acrobatics with a touch of synchronized swimmer thrown in for good measure.
Well, we're up on the roof of the hippo exhibit, and here comes Steve Krieger.
Hi, Doug. Any activity
Steve.
today?
Yeah, we're glad to see the hippos come out.
See if I can get down here.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today. It's really a treat to be up here on the roof, being able to look down on them like this.
Yeah, you get quite a much better perspective up here than
Nice
down
view.
below. You get the whole pool.
Now, I see 3 hippos here. What do we have? Mom and Dad? What are these 3 that we're looking at?
We have the mom and dad and the baby, our juvenile. Maybe it could be a juvenile now. We keep calling it a baby, but it's almost 2 years old. The male's underwater below the female, and then, of course, the juvenile on the right-hand side.
Now, the baby's quite a bit smaller, but the male and the female, they look about the same. Is there much of a size difference between males and females?
Usually in full-grown hippos, there might be a 1,000 to 2,000 pound difference. Hippos will range up to 7,000 pounds in the wild.
Wow.
Cupid's not quite that much, maybe 4 or 5, but he's still a good size.
So there can be quite a bit of difference, but it's not obvious when you're looking at them, I guess.
No, it isn't.
The size of the pool in relation to the hippos, are they comfortable? This looks like a large body of water that they have here.
The size of this pool is pretty comparable to a normal or an average hippo territory in the wild, where a male is the dominant. One male is the dominant of the herd, and he pretty much protects that area from other males and other hippo herds. And so this is more than adequate for these 3 hippos. In the wild, you may find a dozen or 2 in this area of a territory.
Tell me about this pool a little bit. This is a large body of water, and it looks very clean. How much water is in this pool?
Well, the total pool size is about 390,000 gallons, or 370,000 gallons, excuse me, and it's filtered by 4 huge sand filters, about 10, 12 feet in diameter.
So this water goes through some pipes and through some filters, and then it comes back into this pool.
Yes.
So we're able to recirculate the water over and over again.
Every 90 minutes, all the water is run through the filters. All the water in this pool is run through the filters. And a large filter system is necessary for these animals because they defecate in the pool. It can make the water become very cloudy. In the wild, most pools are rivers or lakes where the hippos are. It's so cloudy you couldn't see them underwater. And we want to keep it clear here so the public can see what they're doing underwater. In fact, this is the only place in the world where you can see this on a daily basis, clear water with hippos underwater.
Why is that? What's so unique about this exhibit?
We have viewing windows, underwater viewing. It's a more natural-looking habitat. The river bottom is similar to river bottoms you'd find in Africa with cobbled stones in it, and the backdrop of overhanging shrubbery, and it's very, very naturalistic compared to most zoo hippo exhibits.
Let's talk a little bit, Steve, about what hippos eat. What do we feed them at the zoo?
The hippopotamus, or this particular species, Hippopotamus amphibius, is a grazer. It mainly eats grass on land, and it comes out at night, sometimes 2 times a night, to go to its grazing grounds, which may be several miles away. The hippo looks like it wouldn't do well on land. It does take some time to get to the grazing grounds, but if they need to run, they can run. They can run faster than a person can for short distances.
What do we feed them at the zoo? What do they eat here?
They eat, well, we feed them usually once a day in the evening. They get Timothy hay, about 3/4 of a bale, if you're familiar with bales of hay, and about 40 pounds of commercially prepared grain pellet that they seem to really like. We also give them treats like bananas and apples and other fruits that from time to time for training or just a little something different to eat.
How dangerous are these animals? Do you ever go in with them?
No, we don't go in with the hippos here. Like most of the animals out here, it's just not worth it to try to go in with the animals. You never know what they're going to do or how they're feeling that day. I go in the water scuba diving to clean the glass or hook up cables, fix things underwater, but not when the hippos are in here. They would see me as an intruder in their territory and would probably be very aggressive towards me.
What would they do to you? How would they hurt you? How would a hippo?
Well, they're a very large body. They're very agile underwater. Their teeth are very large, like long daggers, and they're self-sharpening. They sharpen one another, the top and bottom, scrape against each other and sharpen each other. And they're very long, and they can tear right through a person.
Is the little one we have here a male?
Yes, this is a male.
Now, what would be the natural behavior then for this young male in with this adult?
Over time, it turns into more of a dominance factor with the male, letting the young one know that as he gets older, he's got to take his place in the herd or move out.
So gradually, the male playing with the young male gets to be to where it's not playing anymore.
Right.
He's going to start fighting with him, I guess.
Yes, and we're almost to that point right now.
Oh, excuse me, I'm kind of sleepy.
Did you stay up late?
Yeah, I was watching this great movie about a giant gorilla invading New York City, but I fell asleep before it ended.
King Kong?
He was awesome. Climbing buildings, swatting airplanes, nothing could stop him, nothing could control him!
No, they had to kill him.
Sorry.
Sometimes the doctors here at the zoo need to control a large animal for medical reasons.
Oh, like when Dr. Tim gave TJ the gorilla a physical in preparation to move him to another zoo. How?
Okay, this is our gorilla, TJ, who's been brought down for a physical exam in preparation to shipment to Minnesota. 118 minus 8, so 110 pounds. We're doing a complete physical exam on him in preparation for him to be shipped out to a zoo in Minnesota. Ear exam, check his eyes, check his nose, check his teeth. I said one of the tests we have for blood pressure is to see how well these vests refill, and came back real nice. He's also nice and pink.
Look, Ma, no cavities.
I wonder if he flosses.
Staying, Chris. Looks like we won't have to do anything with his teeth. A year ago, we had to remove a baby tooth from him. It was having difficulty coming out. So he's got, these are his permanent teeth. See how much bigger they are? And these are his baby teeth here. And these teeth here are also baby teeth, and they'll get to be almost an inch long when he gets to be a full-size male. Teeth look great. Good. Good. Check and make sure he's under his tongue. Okay. Good. We'll then check for his lymph nodes, the glands. Make sure none of those are swollen. Okay. Check it around under his arms. Do a complete look at him. Make sure everything looks okay. You can see their hands a lot like humans. One of the things, though, they walk on their knuckles, so they walk like this. So they have a lot of callus to protect their fingers, and also the skin's real tough there. You can see the inside of his hand. They have fingerprints just like we would have. We're getting a blood pressure on him right now. Putting the cuff on his upper arm. This is the same kind of cuff that's used on humans. Ooh, that's great. 91/40. We'll check it again. So blood pressure 91/40.
Get the pressure.
Just like that. See it.
First thing we have to do is teach them how to get their arms shaved.
Right.
Find the vein.
Here's the blood sample. We're taking it from the arm, similar to what would be done if you went into the hospital to get a blood sample taken. We're now going to give him some injections, some vaccinations, similar to what you would get. This first one is for measles. Give it into his arm, because they can get measles just like we can. Okay. And our last test is for tuberculosis. We give it to him on his upper eyelid, and then if it swells up and reacts, then we can see it. Just go underneath the skin. You see that nice little, call it a little bleb. That's where the tuberculin is. And it should go down by tomorrow morning, but if it swells up in a couple days, that's an indication that he possibly could have tuberculosis. Okay, we're hooking up the leads for an EKG, and that's a test for his heart.
TJ is rolled into the radiology room to get a chest x-ray. He's carefully lifted onto the table. The x-ray machine takes a picture inside TJ's chest. The x-ray tells Dr. Tim TJ's heart and lungs are healthy.
This is his heart, and these are his two lungs, and this is his stomach, and then this is his backbone right there. And that clip here is part of the EKG monitor. That's the clip we put on him. That's what you're seeing right there. Here's his head is up at the top, and his feet are at the bottom of this. Did his chest x-rays. We did his tuberculin test. He won't get any antibiotics because we didn't do anything to his teeth. He got his drug to treat any worms he might have. This is his vaccines, tetanus and measles. We didn't need to clean his teeth. And we didn't need to do any dental work on him. He's got a clean bill of health. We'll just have to watch and see if he has any reaction onto the TB test on his eyelid.
TJ is in great ape shape.
What an ape!
Someday soon, he'll be off to his new home in Minnesota.
He's taken back to the holding area in the Great Ape Building.
In a few hours, he'll yawn, stretch, and wake up. But for now...
Sweet dreams! Everybody knows that giraffes have long necks, but I'll bet you didn't know that they are the tallest animals in the world.
The average baby giraffe is 5 feet 8 inches at birth and grows to an amazing 17 feet 4 inches by age 8.
That's tall enough to stand in the deep end of a swimming pool and still have his head sticking 5 feet out of the water.
But it's when you compare them to other animals that the giraffe really stands tall. An average adult male elephant is 10.5 feet tall. That's 6.5 feet shorter than an adult male giraffe.
And at 7 feet, basketball star Shaquille O'Neal would have to stand on the head of Patrick Ewing, with Ewing standing on a 3-foot stepladder to look a giraffe in the eye.
An even more amazing fact is the tallest giraffe ever held in captivity was a Maasai bull called George, who was found in Tanzania and measured a towering 20 feet.
That's taller than a single-story house. You may have heard something.
But I bet you didn't know. You know how crazy it can get trying to feed all the kids in the cafeteria at lunchtime. One kid doesn't like meatloaf, another doesn't like spinach.
And Table 5 has declared war on Table 7, bombarding them with peas!
Well, imagine having to feed 300 hungry animals every day with totally different diets.
I'll have 2 bags of monkey chow, please. This truckload of vegetation may look like yard waste, but believe it or not, it's actually some animal's lunch.
And Doug's inside talking to Bev, the head food person, about all the other interesting things the animals eat.
This is the walk-in cooler, right, Bev?
Yes, it's for the commissary for items that are already set up for the animals.
So this is our refrigerator, not our freezer.
Right.
All these things are being kept cool until they're delivered out to the animal areas.
Right, it stays about 42 degrees. This is for the chimps. They get their fruits
Wow,
every day.
look at that. Grapes.
They get the same fruits that we get.
What are these?
They're
Kiwi fruit?
kiwi, yeah.
Wow. Now that looks like really good quality fruit. I don't see any bruises on these apples. What kind of fruit do we buy
This
here?
is the same fruit that humans would eat. We get it
Okay.
from the same company. And then we have our gorillas. Gorillas get, this is their diet for each day.
Bananas and corn. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Green peppers. Do the gorillas like the green peppers?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
This is one of
Eggplant?
their favorites, eggplant. They get about
Wow.
6 different kinds of vegetables a day, and then they get about 3 cases of greens a day.
Do they get the same thing every day?
No, we try to make a variety. Like our elephants get pellets, but they get treats. The bananas are for the giraffes, and then the carrots are for the elephants. So if they want them to do one of their routines, then they can give them a treat. Up here we have the bird diets. They get a salad every day. It's
Salad. That doesn't look like my salad.
It's made with endives and spinach, and then we put these little pellets in there. That's a complete diet to get them, so we know they're getting all their nutrition.
Boy.
We make this with Jell-O, and we freeze it, and it's got
Yellow.
yeah,
Ooh.
and this has little insects in it, so they eat it to get the insects, and then this is a scenic bird diet, and it's a complete diet. So if they eat one little of these, they're getting a complete diet, all the vitamins they need.
Ooh. What is this?
That's squid. That's the penguins eat the squid,
Wow.
and sea lions
Yeah.
eat squid.
Okay, Bev, what is this now?
Okay, that's
This looks like hamburger.
it is. It's canine diet, and that's what all of our big cats eat. And it's made out of horse meat and some other some grains and stuff, and it's a complete diet for them, and that comes from Nebraska.
Carrots for elephants?
Bananas for giraffes?
I think they got their animals mixed up.
Wow, what do we have here in these little bags?
These are some of the examples of some of the grains and some of the foods that we feed out. A lot of people are surprised at the diets, like some of the snakes and the birds eat, and even some of the cats eat these rats that we get from a lab, and baby chicks, which some people don't like that we feed them, but they don't think about what the animals eat in the
Animals
wild.
need to eat this
Yes.
kind of food, don't they?
And for some of the smaller snakes and the smaller birds, we use like the baby mice.
Now wait a minute. What is this, Beth?
Those are Cheerios.
Cheerios?
Yes.
Like we would eat on our cereal, our
Yep.
breakfast in the morning? What are these for?
They're nutritious treats that we give to the monkeys and some of the meerkats, and they really like them for treats, and General Mills donates those to us.
Wow.
These are the things that you saw in the cooler, and it tells us like if for the gorillas we need to set up the bananas, their greens, their vegetables, and their fruits. Like the chimpanzees, each day they get 20 bananas, 4 pounds of green beans or celery, 5 pounds of apples, 1 pound of yams, 1 pound of carrots, 13 pounds of oranges or grapefruit, 9.5 pounds a treat, which is just fruits, and 4 pounds of vegetables or greens. And then once in a while they get popcorn 1 day a week and Cheerios for their treats.
Cheerios and popcorn. These chimps have it good.
Bev, we're in a freezer now, not a cooler, huh?
Yeah, this stays
really
about-
cold in here.
About 15 below.
15 below zero. And what kind of things do we keep in here?
We keep all of our extra meats in here, all of our extra fish. These are smelt that you would eat right on your table.
So, look at the little frozen fish. Wow, look at all that elephant food. Bev, how much food is piled up here for the elephants?
There's about 17 tons of food in that corner.
17 tons. And what's on the cart here?
This is monkey chow for the great apes, for the gorillas, the orangs, and the chimpanzees.
Okay, we got a lot of different kinds of food
Yeah.
up here.
Rabbit chow for the reptile house, and this is a carnivore diet for the meerkats, and this is lab chow for mice, and that we have here at the zoo.
What's in this big box?
That's the Cheerios.
Oh, this looks familiar.
That's
Look
called
at
a
this.
tote.
I've never seen so much Cheerios. Is this good to eat?
Yeah.
Can I eat this?
Yeah, that's good.
Tastes just like Cheerios,
That's the Cheerios that you eat for breakfast every day.
only in a big box.
Have you ever wondered when the zoo's lions are fed, what they eat, and who feeds them?
And why don't we ever see them eating?
Well, the answer is that the lions are brought inside where they're fed in separate cages to prevent disputes and possible injuries.
These big cats are carnivores, serious meat eaters who are fed once per day, 6 days a week.
Jake, the big male, is fed 10 pounds of canine diet
That's prepared horse meat.
and 2 1/4 pounds of dry diet, which is a kind of big cat food.
Chow down! On Wednesdays, they get a special treat of rabbits to supplement their diet. And twice a month, they get mineral oil.
But on Tuesday, they fast and get only bones to gnaw on.
The females' diets are similar to the males', only they get smaller quantities.
Bon appetit!
Behind the scenes in the aquarium. Boy, this is something most people don't get to see. Standing here at tank number 13 with Jay Hemdahl, who's our curator of fishes. Jay, what are we about to do here?
Well, what we're going to do, Doug, is capture out this young sea turtle, take it out of the tank, measure its shell length, and then get a weight for it, and then put it back in the tank.
How much do you think he weighs now, Jay?
Right now, I'd guess about 9 or 10 pounds.
9 or 10 pounds. All right, well, let's catch him out of there and
Okay.
see how much he really weighs.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can entice him to the back of the tank with a little bit of his favorite food, which is smelt.
Smelt.
That smelt all right.
And when he comes to the back of the tank, then you're going to reach in and grab him?
What I'm going to do, there may be a little bit of water splashing here. And there he is. It's a young loggerhead sea turtle. What I'm going to do is put it down on the floor over here so that Doug can get a measurement of its shell length.
Now, Jay, is he going to bite me?
Well, he could.
Will he
so
try to bite?
He might. I'll try to hold him still.
So we're going to measure his shell from right back at the very tip to right there. And it looks like 13.5 inches, right?
Yep. Good.
Okay.
Now, if you could open the door to that kennel. This kennel is just to hold the animal still while we weigh it.
Does this hurt him, Jay?
Oh, not at all. Sea turtles are reptiles and they breathe air, so they're not like a fish that needs to stay in the water. Hang this on the scale.
This guy weighs about 9 pounds, but he could weigh up to 600 pounds. Wow!
What does this sea turtle eat in the wild? Does he eat fish?
Yeah, in the wild, he would eat small fish, but also its favorite food would be things like crabs and jellyfish and sponges.
And does he have teeth? How does
No.
he chew things up?
Well, he doesn't chew, but he's got a very sharp beak, like a parrot.
Wow.
And he can use that to break the shells of crabs and shrimp.
So he could really hurt my finger if he got a hold of my finger, I
Most
guess.
definitely, yeah.
Does he have scales on top of his head?
Uh-huh. The name loggerhead, this is a loggerhead sea turtle, and the name seems to be derived from as they mature and reach the total weight of 600 pounds, I guess this head ends up looking a lot like a log.
Like a big log.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat.
And
So
this material on his shell here is just algae, a plant growth type of plant. And it grows on his shell because of the sunlight that we have coming in through a skylight above his tank.
And he's got, and the algae doesn't hurt him, does it?
Oh, not at all. No,
And
in
he's got
fact,
sharp points on his shell there.
right there.
And he's trying to bite
He's
you right
trying
now.
to bite
Jay.
right now. If you can see that right there is a claw on his flipper.
Yeah.
And that shows that at one time these animals were probably derived from land turtles that had, 5 toes on their feet.
Yeah. So and his has just turned into the one big flipper.
One
and that
flipper
helps
for-
him to go through the water.
For swimming, yeah. And this is what the underside of a loggerhead sea turtle looks like.
Wow. Look at those feet. And there's this little
A
claw.
little claw back there too.
He's real cool. Is this water cold?
Water's about 75 degrees, and that would feel cool to the human skin.
Yeah.
Because we're warm-blooded and this is a cold-blooded animal.
And that's salt water, right?
That's right.
I wonder how long he can stay underwater.
Actually, the answer to that in the wild may be as long as 2 or 3 months.
Really?
Yes. During the winter in certain parts of Florida, these loggerhead sea turtles hibernate in the mud in the bottom of certain channels on the east coast of Florida, and some people believe that they spend 2 or 3 months underwater.
Underwater.
Our sea turtle breathes about once every 30 minutes.
Okay. Should we put him back in his tank
Put him back
now?
in the tank now.
There he goes,
And there he
swimming
goes.
away.
Hey kids, if you're like Emily and me, you have lots of questions about the animals and things at the Toledo Zoo.
Well, now you can have those questions answered on the air.
Just send us a postcard with your question and address it to Zoo Today, Cool Critter Questions, P.O. Box 4010, Toledo, Ohio 43609.
We'll choose one question each week and have it answered by an authority at the zoo.
So send your questions today.
Yeah, drop us a line.
Wow, that was amazing. Emily, hold your breath. Sea turtles can hold their breath for 30 minutes. But our turtle here at the zoo isn't big enough to leave for a while, so you still have plenty of time to come and see him. But 30 minutes? I can just hardly believe that. I mean, when I was a little kid, my brother used to hold me under the water for a while, but I think the most I was ever under there was maybe a minute. But 30 minutes? That's absolutely amazing. I mean, the guy must have a set of lungs on him. I just don't understand. He keeps his little head up, and he takes a big